Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Business Lunatics, another show, another week where four fearless loonies pull back the curtain on the wild, the wonderful, and sometimes downright ridiculous world of entrepreneurship. At the end of the day, we have to be lunatics to be an entrepreneur and to be in our own business. Let's talk about no fluff, no BS, just business madness. And today, our topic is going to be growth strategy in 2026. We're already in Q4 of 2025. What do we plan on doing for 2026? And on that note, we're going to focus a little bit on the AI world and how that can impact us both negatively and positively around revenue generation in the new year. And on that note, I'm going to let Mr. AI, Steve, take it away.
Well, first thing is you got to have a plan. If you fail to plan, you could plan to fail. So you got to kind of figure out what is your strategy going to be in 2026. I would never tell a company to go ahead and all out, boom, just start using AI. You need to have guardrails. You got to consider the ethical considerations of, utilizing AI in your business on a day-to-day practice. You got to have usage policies defined and printed and written up. If you go to my website, my usage policy is right on my website. So it's out loud and proud. It needs to align with your core values and your goals, and even more importantly, you got to be considerate of upskilling and training your staff to be able to leverage AI as a thought partner. Is it a tool? Yes. Can you do all kinds of cool stuff with it? Absolutely. I can take a picture of my refrigerator, it'll tell me what I can cook for 600 calories or less. But is that necessarily the best use of it in my business? No, I don't think so. But I think for
Well,
20, what's that?
I think you bring up an interesting point. I mean, at the end of the day, we have to figure out how to work with AI, right? Just like Freddie was mentioning this idea of working for and with last week when we were talking about the human element in a business. I think the same thing applies here with AI. AI is something that we can't get rid of. The cat's out of the bag. It's going to be there. AI has to be something we have to accept the fact that AI is not replacing the humans. But one thing I will tell you is that it will replace those people who avoid or don't or decide not to evolve with
Yeah.
AI. And I think that's an important factor.
Sure, because
What do you
AI
think,
will
there's
Rochelle?
three
replace
there's three
humans.
types of people. Those that make things happen, those that watch things happen, and those that wonder what the
What
heck
happened?
happened. And
Yeah.
really, the companies that are leveraging AI are leveraging it strategically right now, and the ones that are which are accelerating with growth.
But that's the funny part. Not all of them. A lot of them really haven't put in the foundational work they should to actually leverage it properly, like
Well,
having
that's
guardrails and stuff.
right, but the company that my wife works for,
Well, your
what they
company.
not my company, her company she works for, what they did is they just rolled out about a month ago, and they had a big meeting on it, is they're using AI as a qualifier for the people that are looking to potentially purchase the products that she markets. So what it's done is it's actually helped streamline her sales approach because it gathers all the data automatically. It's a voice interactive AI. So it's actually, they're having a conversation with the AI, and it's gathering all the information. So when she gets the call, she basically now says, "Oh, I see that you spoke with our AI assistant. And let me just recap if I've got this all correct. These are the details. This is what you're looking for. This is the issues and all that stuff." So now it's already collapsed that whole conversation because it's gathered that data for her before she even gets to the customer talk to the prospective buyer.
Hold that thought right there. That's perfect. And I'm sure her company has taken the steps to ensure their data is siloed. There's multi-factor authentication. It's not just sharing it with the large language models. What I'm trying to tell you is that for 2026, your plan should be to first look at how are you going to protect the utilization of implementing AI with intent and in your organization. Because what you just said, good example. Fathom. It's a great note taker. Or Read AI or Tactic. You pick your flavor of which one you like. You need to be careful as a small business because if you don't have the other person's permission to record them, unless you're in a state like New Jersey, that's illegal. They can sue you for that. You didn't get their permission. Also, it's a really good, it's got good sides. It's a great tool for a sales tool. I can go through and ask Fathom questions about the conversation we had, or ask it, hey, what are the next steps? Could you help me maybe, copy the transcript, put it in Chat GPT, say, could you help me write a sales letter based off our conversation? So there's some good things to it, but all done with the governance and ethics in mind to protect your data, their data, and the organization. And that's really the point I think people should be planning for that in 2026.
Well,
Yeah.
and yeah, go ahead, Rochelle.
I think one of the best ways of using AI is to really master and learn how to use it as a training tool. I can't even
Hmm.
tell you. One of the things when I work with a with a business owner, one of the problems they have is hiring, and it's not that they don't like hiring; they hate training. I mean, the idea of
Mm.
downloading what every single business owner has an enormous amount of information between their right ear and their left ear, and they don't know how to pass the information on. And it's not only that they don't know how, they have no patience. They have less than no patience. Okay. No patience is a step in the right direction. So their frustration level is really high. God forbid somebody makes a mistake, they want to annihilate them. So it's a real issue. Now, if you can create
Hmm.
a bot and literally break down all the training that needs to take place and do this through AI, I can't even tell you what that does for a company. They can take their entire training and make it so much easier, and the business owner is no longer frustrated. They understand how to do it once, and it's one and done, and it's amazing. So I just think now again, if anything is repeated over and over and over again, let's see how AI can step in and take care of that for you. So there's a lot of ways in the company that it can make an enormous business, and to
How
stay
many
Yeah.
away from them is a problem.
how many times have you said, I wish I could clone myself? As a
Yeah,
business owner,
exactly.
oh my God, if I could
Yep.
only just clone myself, right? If I only get what's here out to there.
And
And
now you can.
there's already systems, by the way, Rochelle. Agentic UI is one of them. And you can also there's some other clone software out there that you can actually make clones of your knowledge. You basically are loading your information all about you, your videos, your emails, how you write, and it basically learns how you think, and it can not do 100%. I don't think anything's 100% perfect in that regard.
Doesn't
That's
have
why
to
I
be.
always
If you
say keep
hire,
a
it's not
human
a
in the
hundred
loop.
percent.
Yeah,
If
I
you
always say
hire,
keep
it's
a
not a
human in the
hundred
Well,
loop,
percent.
yeah,
but
but I've been
if it can
seeing,
take 80% of your time away from sucking you down, man, that's like a win and a half. That'd be a great aspiration for 2026.
yeah, I've been
I mean,
seeing
this yeah.
some business coaches that are actually doing that. They're actually cloning themselves. They're
Mhm.
packaging it as their own particular AI, and then what they're doing is they're taking their customer or who they're coaching challenges, and you stick it into the AI, which is basically them, and in minutes it spits out the whole game plan for that particular customer that they're coaching.
Hmm.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's a complete game changer,
Yeah.
and I know somebody that's doing it and leveraging
lot
it
of
quite
people
well.
are, and I'm on the board in my building, and we've got a lot of different nationalities in my building, and we have this. We're trying to change something in the building, so we get this document that looks like, and I can't even tell you, in English, and a lot of the people in the building are Asian. So we took the document, put it into chat, and it was translated like this into every imaginable language we can think of. We had it translated into Russian, Mandarin, and Spanish. I mean, by the time I walked my dog, it was all done. Now, I couldn't have
Yeah.
paid enough to have this done before because it's a really big document. So,
Mhm.
again, and even online, if you're doing business with any kind of international community, you can take what you do. Somebody can, just download, just look at it and say, just translate into whatever the language is. It is enormously helpful.
Yeah, you still need to
Yeah. I
get
mean,
some, having been in that
yeah.
industry, for several years. Yes, AI is significantly speeds up the process. However, just a word of caution from someone, like I said, has been in that space. You still need to have somebody review it for accuracy.
True, right. But you've also just reduced the time to do all this work, right?
Oh,
In
no, I
like
get it, but
by
I'm just saying
90, right? By
you still
90%.
need to have
10, 80,
someone
10.
prove it still needs to
10%
be proofread.
Yeah.
is
Yeah, of
10%
course. I
your
agree.
idea, 80% AI does all the work, and 10% put a human back in the loop and make sure it's what you meant to
So,
say.
but
Correct.
right, and one of the things I was saying earlier, which everything we're talking about right now just reinforces that. AI is here to stay. AI needs to be embraced. Don't run away from it. Figure out how to use it to your advantage. When
Yep.
and Rochelle, the piece that you just talked about, and Freddie, what you just said too. There's no reason why you can't use what ChatGPT, Copilot, Gemini, Claude, Perplexity, right? These are the five big ones that is pretty much being used by so many different people. Just go there, punch in the information about your company, upload a PDF, upload a deck, have it read your website, right? Have it read whatever documents or press
Mhm.
releases that might be out there, and tell it and have it identify your target audience and put the plan in place for revenue growth for 2026.
Or do one better. Do one better. Ask it to be your
Yeah.
thought partner and ask you up to
Mhm.
5, 3, 10 questions, whatever you want to ask, and tell it what I'm trying to figure out is the best plan for 2026 for my business strategy. It already knows who you are. If you're using it, it's kind of you're training your. If you use chat all the time, you're training chat of who you are, what you look up, what you research. It remembers all that stuff. So it's constantly
Yep.
learning about you and who you are. You cannot share it with the large language models, but it's still remembering that stuff about you. If I said to Chloe, that's what I call her, if I said to my AI right now, tell me about my POV, my point of view, it'll come back and tell me all about what we talked about in my AI with intent. But you gotta think more curiously, I think is probably a better way to do it, and let AI do 80% of the work. Why should you have to figure out what is the
Mhm.
best way to go? It knows so much more than we could ever dream of. So why not allow it to
The other
use all that knowledge to help us?
when we're talking about branding today, there's so much SEO when we're talking about in Google. Now you've got to SEO your chat because people are
Well, it's
going.
Yeah.
called AEO now. They even gave it a new name.
G.
Right.
We're beyond AEO. We're now in the GEO.
Oh,
Yeah,
we're going to
GEO is
GEO, a
the
new
is
acronym.
the
Yeah.
is
Okay.
the is the new. I just had somebody on my podcast that was talking about GEO
Good.
as the
Are
new
Yep.
major search approach that it
Exactly.
needs to be considered because
It'll
it's
change.
leveraging
Because
AI for that. Because you want to show up, you want your business to be recommended by the AIs now.
Hmm.
so the
exactly. I mean,
same
we went from SEO
Google.
to AEO, and incidentally, AEO is answer engine optimization. And so we've been in the AEO world for actually a number of years, but now we're moving into generative engine optimization. And so
Yeah.
when it comes to how do you send the information to the chatbots, it's imperative that you um, focus on the GEO side. And again, we're giving all kinds of great examples in the show, guys. But here's another example. Go to ChatGPT and say, listen, how do I optimize my web pages
Yep.
for AI, for chatbots? And actually, I said that wrong. I said chatbots for GPTs, and it will come back. And one of the things it's going to come back to you with is what's called the JSON code. It's a piece of script. You just copy and paste that into a specific web page. Now, my suggestion is do this on a page by page basis, if at all possible, and just take the JSON code and pop it into each page, and it's doing all the work for you. All you have to do is paste it.
Yeah.
I mean, another example why use AI to your advantage.
It was schema. I
And what
remember I
they
had a
can do.
copy of my
Well,
schema.
schema and to the JSON code are similar.
Yeah.
Yes, I
The other
agree.
thing you can leverage too for 2026 is look at what your primary competitors are and then do an analysis of how do you stack up next to your primary competitors and what do you need to do to level up to either
Yeah.
match them or, more importantly, get ahead of them.
Ask AI how well it rates you as a user of artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
Seriously, see where you're lacking. See where you need to bone up, and maybe you're not asking the right context. Maybe you don't give enough context. Maybe you give too much context, or maybe you don't ask the right questions.
I have a client that's really fun. When he has his chore, what his tasks for the day, his first question is, "How can I AI this? What can I do? Like,
Yeah,
what
AI-ify it, man.
how can I
Yeah.
how can I AI this? What can I bring to AI that would make this quicker? Well, how can I AI this? Is there a letter or an email that he has to write that he just doesn't have the language for? How can I quickly AI this? I worked with somebody today that really felt very he couldn't articulate something in words. He put it through AI and he got like four choices. Now each choice isn't what he thought, but he took two words from here, a word from here, another word from here, and the next thing he wrote something that on his own it was unrecognizable. And I just know that if you try to do it on your own, oh my God, mama mia, you can't live long enough. So the point is, it's great for brainstorming. It's
Right.
great that if you're stuck on how do I articulate, Phil, I have to articulate a difficult conversation. This is what I'm up against. What's your suggestion? Go figure. They'll give you a suggestion. And it's amazing. They'll say,
Yeah.
step one, step two, and it really walks you through it. So we need AI to support us where we have something, excuse me, that's routine, where we have something that has high emotion. I don't know how to deliver this difficult message. How do you break it down? Let's see, where can you start your day and say, how can I AI the day? What can I do with AI that can make this easier, breezier, and I can get more done. It becomes your executive assistant, and it's much earlier. And the more we go, we're only starting. This is going to be
No, you
We're
and you can't
early.
break it.
We're
here.
early.
You
Yeah.
can't break it.
In this, the way this is going to look in 2 years, this is going to be nothing. In 2 years,
Well,
we're going to laugh at this.
I have a prediction.
More sophisticated.
I have a prediction, and we'll see if it comes true. And I'm going to say it right here live for all of you. I predict that within 2 years, you'll go to a web page and you won't have any words on the web page. You'll just have a chatbot. Either it'll be text or it'll be voice. And you'll say, what can you tell me about testimonials on this website? Or where, like, show me the blogs or whatever. And instead of you having to fish around and find stuff and click everywhere, you'll just talk to it. Like on my website, I have a live bot that speaks multiple languages. And if I say hola, she goes, ¿Cómo estás?
Yep.
She starts speaking in Spanish. I don't speak Spanish. So I'll go back to English real quick. But the point is, my prediction is that websites will still be there, but there'll be nothing more than just a bot that you can program from a central location that will feed the information out to the person that's looking for it.
It's interesting you're talking about bots. When I first heard the word bots, I was annoyed. Then I had to call customer service on something. Now, I don't know about you, but I hear like customer service for a bank or what, I start shaking because you don't know where you're going to be connected to. I mean, I start shaking. Half the times you get into an argument, they don't understand what you're doing, and it infuriates me. So I get, and now I have a chip on my shoulder because I'm going to talk to a bot. In short, the bot was clear, easy, understood everything that I needed. I didn't have to repeat it twice or three times, had no attitude, connected me immediately. I said, oh my God, this was so
Yep.
pleasant. There
Yep.
was a time that customer service was so difficult when it was outsourced to like India or wherever that a lot of companies lost a lot of business because the customers refused to work with them.
It's
Now,
evolving.
bots, it's a pleasure. I just giggled. I said,
It's
oh my God.
Yeah.
evolving just as way that the old you talk to the voice systems. I forget what they used to be called, but you would talk to a voice agent, I guess.
That goes
And
back to
now
what I just mentioned earlier when we first started was, and my wife's company is using it as
yeah,
a in a
Filter.
sense a customer service agent, but it's really a qualifier to make sure that the person is going to be routed to the right sales individual
right, but
based upon
spend
their specific needs.
spend the time, energy, and money, whatever it takes to make sure you're protected and you're doing it properly and with governance and ethics. That I can't say
Well,
that.
they're
I can't
north
harp
of
on it
100
enough.
million a year, so I think they're doing okay. I
Yeah, they're
think they
doing
got that
okay.
covered.
Yeah, I'm sure they
I
do,
mean,
like I said before. But for
yeah.
all of our listeners, don't just think it's that simple, easy. You just have a bot answer the phone and route it over, and then somebody gets it. There's a few steps to go along that way.
Right.
I mean, I think it's Steve. What you said was interesting about chatbots, and Rochelle, your personal experience is great, right? You found that a chatbot is able to be clear, concise, give you what you want, and you're not dealing with, with funny accents of the human beings that we're talking to when these mass data, customer service centers that we always have difficulty with in terms of communicating with them. But Steve, I don't know if it's going to go as far as what you said in terms of the web page being a huge chatbot, but that concept is there. I mean, we've implemented a chatbot onto the SmartBinds website, and and believe me, it was amazing how the amount of time it took to set it up. But guess what? I don't. We only have to
And
do that
now
one time, right?
that's
We
it.
only have to
It's a
do it one time.
one-time suffrage.
And then all of a sudden, and inside of that, the first thing, part of the setup is it scans your entire website. It's scanning all the pages. You decide what to exclude if that's what you want, but then you're connecting it to whichever GPT you want as well, right? And let's say it's Gemini, let's say it's Chat GPT. And it is amazing what it's able to
You
understand
can load in your
about the
information
company.
you wanted to know, what you don't want it to
Exactly.
know.
Yeah. And it automates, you can set it on an automated schedule where it will pick up updated pages, new pages, like especially blog posts, where you got more content. And all that just feeds into it. Now, granted, even, within a week, I don't know that it picked up all the nuances that we want, but give it time. And it doesn't take
Well,
that long. When I say it doesn't
they're
take that long, it
already
takes 30
connecting it.
days.
They're already connecting the calendar, so you can schedule an appointment with me on my website, speaking
Yeah.
to the person.
Yeah.
You can connect it via API or with Zapier to all kinds of other things. To
Mhm.
copy the transcript, it records what they say. It shows you in text what the conversation was, so you have some context that if you're going through logs, you can. If you had a problem, I'm sorry, customer will get that rectified or whatever. But there's a lot more to it. You're right. Setting it up is challenging, but once you get it done and it works,
It's there.
it's awesome.
Right.
Awesome.
Let's talk
And the other
about
thing,
something. Yeah. Go
I
ahead.
was just going to say, the other thing you got to do is you got to keep refining it because it needs to be
Mhm.
improved. For example, I wrote my own GPTs for my podcast to edit the episodes and extract the stuff versus paying some other platform. And it's taken me several evolutions because as I got smarter and knew how to
Mhm.
better ask the questions and better set it up, the better my content that it got extracted from the transcription of the episode became. But I needed to keep improving myself to be able to improve it.
Yeah.
Well, and that brings me to the point I was going to suggest that we talk about a little bit, which is AI can't replace curiosity.
Nope.
AI can't replace creativity, and AI certainly can't replace context, right? Your sales strategy, conflict resolution, creative campaigns, brand storytelling. That this is where Freddie's point makes a lot of sense. You as a human being have to keep working at it and making and evolving the refine. Maybe evolving is not the right word. Refining the information so that AI can become better.
Human
And
in
that
the
does
loop.
take time.
Yeah, because you got to improve yourself first because otherwise, you don't know what you don't know. And so as you become wiser, you can make the AI wiser
But
and
Mhm.
I totally agree with both of you. But here's a little trick, is what I'm trying to say, is you can actually have AI help you by showing you blind spots you're not thinking of.
Yeah,
Not from an
totally.
emotional standpoint.
Yeah, sure.
But if you use it as a thought partner and have it like challenge you, literally, I have asked it, I want you to challenge me on this subject. I want you to dig until you find all the blind spots potentially that I'm not seeing about my financial results or about whatever it is I'm working on. And it's amazing some of the questions I look at it like, wow, That's very
AI
much
is
helpful.
only as good as the prompts that you're asking. And
Yeah.
as we got more
Very true.
skilled, and so's business.
And
business
that goes
is-
back to your, yeah, that's, thank you for amplifying what I've said, because as you start becoming wiser on how to communicate with it,
Mhm.
Yep.
you start getting better information back.
Yeah.
I had an interesting one a week ago. As I got wiser, right, especially in the last 3 years of using ChatGPT, the other day I actually, I literally I wrote it out in Word first and came up with, I don't know, half a page of information for it to use finding what I was looking for. And I need to find that chat, but it came back and said, "Thank you very much for all this information." It's definitely it gets better as you get better, no question about it. So
Yeah.
as we slowly start to wind down to the end of our show, guys, let's talk about our takeaways. And if you want to, I'll tell you what your takeaways are from the show first.
Go
You
for
know
it.
what's funny? I never see you actually writing anything.
He's
So
he's
you must have
clever.
some transcription
He does
software
it,
working.
but you don't notice that he's doing, because
You don't notice
I've
it.
No,
seen
he's
him
got
subtly
transcription
doing
software
it.
on the screen. He's using something over there. I don't know.
Exactly.
He's using AI, man.
Here, let's. And I don't know if I picked up all of them, but I think I've got a good number of them. What is your AI plan, Steve? Three types of people: those who make things happen, those who watch things happen, and those who wonder what happened. That was from Freddy.
Yeah.
I had mentioned this idea that AI isn't replacing human beings, but it will replace those who refuse to evolve. Rochelle talked about using AI as a training tool, especially with companies who hate training. Um, Steve, you mentioned if I could only clone myself, which is where AI comes into play.
And I'm
Use
actually
AI
working
as
on
a
it, just so you know. I am working on that. I'm
okay.
pretty close.
Use AI as a thought partner for growth. That's from Steve. Use AI to build client plans, right? To build out, help become more efficient. That's from Freddie. Use AI for competitor analysis, Freddie. And then we talked about voice agents, we talked about chat bots, and we talked about the fact that AI can't replace creativity or context. So now with all that in mind, what are your takeaways? Let's start with Freddie.
To be terrific, you need to be specific, and if you're specific, the AI will be terrific.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah, be specific. I agree.
That's a
Steve.
Freddyism right there.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it's, God, so many. Be curious, but be cautious. I mean, AI is a powerful tool. It can do a lot to help you. 10-80-10, 10% your idea, 80% let AI do the work, 10% humanize it. But be considerate of ethics, governance, and guardrails.
Oh, Rochelle.
We started with what's your growth strategy for next year, and where are you weaving in AI? Because that could be your biggest assistant, that could be your biggest, corporate trainer, that can be the person, the thing that does your PowerPoints. Look at your day and say, what do I need? Can I AI this? And see how
Yeah.
that's going to free up a lot of your time.
And like you had said, how do I wake up and use AI for my day, right? I'm gonna go with again, following Rochelle's lead here. AI won't make your business grow in 2026, but you, with your curiosity, creativity, and intentional version of yourself, will be able to use AI the right way. And with that in mind, you're going to be able to grow and generate more revenues in 2026. And with that, everybody, that is our show for today. Thank you for tuning in to Business Lunatics. Hit follow, hit subscribe, and join the loonies next week for no fluff, no BS, and pure business madness. Thank you very much.
Yay.
Yeah.